boys and girls, I'm Mrs. Sheridan and we're excited to have you back for cooking class. Today I have my helper
Jessica, hi,
with me and we are going to be making granola. So we're going to start by turning on the oven. So if you have an adult with you, you can turn on the oven to 325 degrees.
Hey, that's mine.
And then if you, before we get started, the first thing we always do is
wash your hands.
But first, pull back your hair if you have long hair. So I pulled my hair back. And then Josiah and I have already washed our hands, and we washed them with soap and warm water, and we washed them for 20 seconds. We got the tops and the bottoms and all in betweens,
yeah,
so that they were all nice and clean with no germs. Then you probably can't see, but on our table we have all of our ingredients. So you were given an ingredient list of all the things that you would need for the granola recipe today.
And if you're watching this video and you don't remember, I might say every single thing that I use.
We will as we go through. Also, we have already read through the recipe. You know how important that is if you're doing cooking, to read through your recipe first to make sure you have all the ingredients. So all of that was done ahead of time for you. So we're going to get started. The first thing that Josiah is going to do is he is going to measure 2.5 cups of oats into his bowl. He has his measuring cups out. He has his measuring spoons that he's going to need, a mixing bowl, a spatula, and a baking sheet that he's going to use. So he's using his 1 cup measuring cup. He's putting in
2 of these and 1/2 cup, okay, of oats.
Set the oats aside, and he's going to keep those measuring cups because he's going to actually add a 1/2 cup of brown sugar into his granola.
So this is going to turn out very good, so prepare to taste something yummy.
This is one of our favorite granola recipes. We made it lots and lots of times.
Oh.
Sorry. That beef is the oven. That's ready. Brown sugar is a little bit hard, so he's going to just break it into pieces.
If I can.
And then scoop it up into the 1/2 cup. So remember, now that we're on a video rather than working in our kitchen at school, you can pause it if it feels like we're going too fast or you have a question. You can rewind it so you can see. And for those of you that are still in maybe kindergarten or first grade or even second grade, you might need an adult to help, because think about how much stuff we do while we're at school.
And you usually don't need an adult to help in your kitchen because we have Jenna and everybody else who probably knows what we're doing.
So we are going to use 1/3 of a cup of honey. Our honey is really hard. This actually came from our bees. So I brought a spoon to do the scooping. If your honey is hard and you need to warm it.
Oh wow.
This is real, like we're just at our house in our dining room. We don't know exactly what's going to happen, who's going to drive by, or anything. This is unscripted.
So
You're seeing this
unscripted. If I say here's a tow truck and it's just one sitting out our window.
Can you hold that? Thank you. So if
this
your
is
honey is firm also and you need to warm it, you can run it under warm water. You could have an adult microwave it for you, but not in a metal measuring cup.
Because it set fire. I've actually done that one time.
I'm not microwaving our whole thing because sometimes when you warm up all your honey, then you lose some of the good stuff that's in the honey. Yeah.
So remember, it's a tip.
Okay, that is close to 1/3 of a cup, so you can go ahead and scoop that out.
Scoopity whoopity. Okay, so here comes your honey.
While he's scooping that, I'm going to go get another spoon and a glass measuring cup for our coconut oil.
Okay, so this is just gonna take a while, like you can see. It's gonna take me a while. So many potties.
So, okay, go. So you can use 1/3 of a cup of butter, if you want to use butter. If you're making it dairy free, you can use coconut oil.
Coconut oil does not have dairy, by the way.
So we are using coconut oil. Also, if you
But
want to
nobody
make
in
it,
our family is dairy free.
also, if you want to make it gluten free, you can make sure you use your gluten free oats, if that is something that you need. But we need our butter or our coconut oil to be melted. So if you're using a stick of butter and you cut it off at 1/3 cup, you can unwrap it and put it in a measuring cup. This is a liquid measuring cup that we're using. You can unwrap it and you can put it in there and then have an adult help you with the microwave.
I've done that 1,000 times, so I can do it by myself, but if you
are not allowed
yeah,
to use a microwave by yourself, please have an adult help you. So I'm going to have Josiah go and melt this in the microwave.
Jeremy,
that
Jeremy,
liquid.
you're going to get in trouble.
Telling you, unscripted. The dog's walking around. We have kids getting up from nap. So a little bit like being in our class in the kitchen where you never know what one of our classmates is going to say. So we melted the coconut oil and we actually melted it over the stove and we put some water in a small pan and boiled it.
Because our microwave wouldn't work.
We
Anytime we put it in, it would just flare up.
So we don't know what's going on with the microwave. So instead of chancing it, we melted it over the stove. I put the water in, I watched it boil, Josiah watched it melting to make sure it was going to be okay. But I'm going to pour it in because it's hot and the measuring cup is still a little bit hot. So we're adding 1/3 cup of coconut oil or 1/3 cup of butter if you're using butter.
So it isn't.
Now, we are going to be adding some things that you might not be adding at home. So we are going to add half a cup of almonds. So these are sliced almonds. If you can't have nuts, obviously you are not going to be using any nuts. Scoop it in, reach in.
So you can pour it if you have.
So one of the things, because we're doing our classes online right now, and through videos, is we're able to have all of us that can eat all different things or can't eat some things. We're all able to participate in classes that we can't do on campus. So we added nuts. Don't add nuts. You might not be adding nuts if you can't have nuts. We are going to add some different seeds. So I have a whole bunch of different things I'm going to hold up and show you. And then Josiah is going to decide which ones we're going to be adding. So I have pumpkin seeds that we can be adding. I have hemp seeds that we can add. I'm not sure if all of these are showing up on the video. I have quinoa that we can add in there. I have some sesame seeds. If you have poppy seeds, the black ones, you might add those in. I have chia seed. So we are going to add in, we want 1/4 cup total. So the way that I do this is I take like our measuring spoon. So we might take a tablespoon and our 1/4 cup, and we're going to use this as our scoop, and then Josiah is going to scoop.
That's not a 1/4.
That is a 1/4 cup. Josiah is going to use our scoop, and he is going to scoop out some of the different seeds so that we have a wide variety. Remember, the more variety that you have, the more things that you eat, the different kinds of vitamins and minerals you're getting in your granola. And our granola is going to taste so yummy, like for cereal for breakfast or on yogurt.
Yeah.
It's one of our favorite ways to eat it.
Sesame. definitely thinking
So just one. Because we want to have different kinds, remember? Chia seeds. I'll open it for you. Here, you can scoop out. So he's choosing either a whole tablespoon or part of a tablespoon. Basically, he just wants to fill up this measuring cup. When I make it just on my own, when I'm making up a big batch for our family, I just use some of all of it. And I don't always worry about the measurements. So he's going to go ahead and add some hemp seed. He's adding like a 1/4 teaspoon of hemp. A tiny little bit of chia seed, or quinoa. This is quinoa. Quinoa is actually like something you can use as a grain. And then he's going to do the rest probably in pepitas, or pumpkin seeds.
pumpkin seeds.
Okay, let's do that over here so that you can add them. That way if anything falls in, it doesn't matter, it's just going straight into our bowl. Again, go ahead and add a little bit more.
Those are our spices. Everyone, so pumpkin seeds first, sesame seeds, china seeds, and
chia seeds.
Chia seeds and yours.
Okay, now he's going to get a tablespoon. He's going to add a tablespoon of cinnamon.
Tablespoon is a lot.
It is. He's going to have to reach way down in there because our cinnamon is almost out. Do you want me to pour it?
Wait, I got it. Just, I'm going to get some from the bottom over here where I can reach. You pour it. I can't really do any of it.
So we're just going to pour
Okay,
into
so
our
1 teaspoon right here.
tablespoon.
Here.
1 tablespoon of cinnamon.
Tablespoon, sorry. I am very bad at, I mix up every single thing.
We're going to use a teaspoon of vanilla. Good. Do you want to pour that in?
Okay, so 1 teaspoon of vanilla going in.
Okay. And now we would normally add any dried fruit that we want at the end. So if you're adding raisins or dried blueberries or dried apricots that you're going to chop up or anything, we're going to do that at the end. But we are going to go ahead and add some coconut right now. So I'm going to go ahead and give him the 1/4 scoop and let him add a 1/4 scoop of coconut because I like it toasted in with the rest of the granola. This is unsweetened coconut. You don't need it sweetened because we have all that other stuff in there. Now he is going to stir all around. He's going to give that a great big stir, and he's going to make sure he gets his honey and his oil.
Oops.
All mixed in. Remember that honey was thick, so it might take a little bit of stirring. If you have your hands still clean, like you haven't scratched your nose or licked your fingers or anything like that, and you need to use your hands to
I would like to use
to mix this, you can use your hands.
like to use my
Okay,
hands.
go ahead and use your hands. You might want to push your sleeves up. That's another thing that we do when we're cooking. Besides pulling back our hair, we usually wear short sleeves or we push our sleeves up at the beginning so that they are out of the way.
So I didn't do that because obviously I was doing the mixing, but now I'm going to because
So he's going to use his hands so that he can get it all
mixed in good. Wow, this looks good.
And his hands are going to be very sticky from all that honey. And they're going to be oily from all the coconut oil or the butter that you used if you're doing this at home and you're doing it this way. But guess what? Oatmeal and honey and vanilla and oil,
Stuff.
all of that is actually really good for your skin. So when he goes to wash off his hands, it's going to be just like some kind of special spa mask that he put on his hands. Don't do all over it though. Just mix it normal. So he's trying to break up the pieces of brown sugar right now. You want to make sure you don't have your clumps.
Everything. Mix it in. Take your time.
So he's just mixing. It's all coming together. I'm going to show you what it looks like in just a second. It might be a little bit clumpy because it has the honey and the oil in it. It's going to make it clump. You just want to make sure you don't have those big chunks. Remember, our brown sugar was a little bit hard. We just want to make sure we don't have big chunks. So he's cleaning off his hands. I'm going to show you what it looks like. So we used quick cooking oats. So they're a little bit smaller than rolled oats. We normally do this with rolled oats, but we wanted to just buy one kind for the whole class. He's going to now use his spatula. I might use a spatula because his hands are still dirty. And we're going to pour it onto our baking sheet.
Spread it out.
Parents at home, I sometimes do big batches, like I'll do a triple batch if I'm making a bunch, and I do it in my crock pot. A lot of times, especially in the summer when I don't want to use my oven. And I just do all the same mixing, only I mix it straight in the crock pot so I don't have a separate bowl. And then cook it on low and keep stirring it for a few hours. And I will hopefully be putting notes down below the video with the recipe and some other things that you can find so you can go back and look at these things. So he's spreading it all out, all over the pan.
And every corner, everywhere. It might be a few gaps.
Now I am going to go put this in the oven because he's not allowed to put things in and out of the oven yet.
So I'm going to go wash
He's going to go wash his hands.
This ball mask.
This ball mask, he said, off his hands. I'm going to go put this in the oven and then we will see you when it's done. It's going to cook for about 20 minutes. So you're going to want to pause your video. In just a second, you're going to pause your video, you're going to put this in the oven, set your timer for 20 minutes or have your adult do those steps, and then you're going to unpause when it comes out of the oven. We will see you back in 20 minutes. Okay friends, we are back. I stirred this granola once while it was in the oven. We put it in there at 325 for 20 degrees. You can see it's a golden brown color now. I'm going to give it another stir. It's warm, so Josiah's being very careful of the pan that just came out of the oven. He is going to measure half a cup of dried blueberries. You can use whatever kind of fruit, dried fruit that you like. If you want to put in raisins or cranberries, or if you want to put in chopped up dried apricots, that's fine. If you want to put in a combination of those things, we don't usually add fruit at all, but today we're going to add the blueberries as a special.
Mom, can you add your cranberries too?
No, we're going to just do blueberries today.
Okay.
He's going to pour them on. I didn't have to heat that up. He kind of just sprinkled them all over. And we are going to stir them in. Now, this does really well stored if you have a Tupperware. You can store it in a Tupperware container, a plastic container. No, you only need half a cup. You can put it in a Ziploc baggie, but you're going to want to let it cool first before you do any of that, or you're going to end up with soggy granola. So I'm going to spread it back out all over my pan. We've added our blueberries. Now we've spread it all out. So we've spread it all out. We're going to let it cool before we put it into our container. Now one thing that you can't see, because you can't see our whole table, is that we have stacked all of our measuring cups, bowls, and spoons into this bowl. We're going to take this bowl into the kitchen because remember that the most important part of cooking is cleaning up. So you wash your hands before you start, you clean up at the end, and then people are going to let you use their kitchen again next week when we come back for another fun cooking class. We'll see you guys then. Bye.
I thought, everybody listen to this, I thought the most important part of cooking class was eating.